Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking about physical attractiveness for females. Now, there's a huge emphasis placed by society, by culture, by everyone to look better, especially for females. They oftentimes believe that it's very, very important for a guy and it's one of the only things that matters. And what I found through observation is that female physical attractiveness, sure, it will attract a lot of attention from guys, but when you're looking at the long term, for the really successful people out there, the really successful guys out there, the businessmen, the people who maybe they're not wealthy, but they're successful in terms of their lifestyle, in that they know what will achieve true healthy relationships with people and great bonds and long-lasting relationships and happiness. These people, they place a lot of emphasis on a lot of other qualities other than how great you look, which is, I think, a huge misconception that not a lot of people, especially mainstream media, really puts forth. And just think about it. Why is this the case? Well, look at it from this way. You can be the hottest female in the world. You can be a model. You can be exceptionally beautiful. And I mean, I can't deny that. I appreciate that. But you have a shelf life because all your value, in a certain sense, is tied to your physical attractiveness. As soon as you start aging, when you hit 25, 30, it's going to be like downhill. And so if you're horrible on all other areas of your life, your finances, how you treat people, your relationships, the value you can bring your partner, and so forth, the tables kind of turn. A lot of guys and a lot of people out there are kind of just, they're in their own world. And a lot of girls are in their own world as well. And so you got a lot of guys who are very focused on looks, hitting on a lot of girls who think that they're the most amazing thing in the world, and they always will be because they're in their prime right now. They think that's the case, and then in the long term, it's not really the case. And usually, I think girls slowly over time start realizing this, and they start putting more emphasis on maybe their education or other channels for income and success rather than just modeling and those sort of things. Just to put an example out there, oftentimes I'll approach a girl and she's very physically attractive and she's obviously very young, and then sometimes I just feel kind of sad because I ask her like what her lifelong goals, her passions are, and so forth. And for me, who's so I'm very passionate and motivated about these sort of things, personal finance, accumulating wealth, and so forth, but I don't let it define me. Wealth doesn't imply that you're guaranteed happiness either. It doesn't guarantee happiness or a state level of happiness, but we'll get to that. A great book for that is Authentic Happiness by Martin Seligman. I recommend the audiobook version of that. But anyhow, I'll approach these girls and talk to them, and I on some level I feel kind of sad because her future is kind of like not that great. But at the same time, it's like she's also thinks she's like the most amazing thing on earth. I'm not trying to disparage anyone or put anything negative on them. More so, I'm trying to inspire you guys to understand how the value system works and how, if you want to better your own life and achieve long-lasting happiness rather than ephemeral, temporary fulfillment or happiness, these are things that you have to take into account. And so oftentimes it also kind of implies that a lot of people are kind of, if you get rejected, whether you're a guy or girl, off the initial thing, oftentimes it may just because of a natural snapshot of what they think you are based on them just seeing you. It's important to let them have your full, how really exemplify how you truly are and what you are and so forth. In addition to that, don't fall into the other rat race of constantly trying to make more and more money, because that's a cycle that never ends. I'm going through this book, as mentioned before, called Authentic Happiness, and he mentions this thing called a hedonistic treadmill, where every material thing, or whether it's making more money or buying the next car, it's constantly going to not be enough, and your body just naturally ratchets up and takes those things for granted. So it's a never-ending cycle where you need, almost like a drug addict, higher and higher shots for these temporary levels of fulfillment. So it's hella important. Excuse me for cursing. And I think it's very interesting. I don't think a lot of people genuinely have that, like this mindset. They may try and fake it to maybe get the girl, but I don't think a lot of people genuinely can say for themselves, you're very attractive, but what else do you have? So it's just something. The central thing is just like keep this whole physical attractiveness value thing in check. It's something that can be appreciated, but just make sure to keep that in mind. And you'll be surprised how many people do not realize this. And on the flip side, I do think, just as a disclaimer, if you're disheartened because you think you're ugly or you're not attractive and so forth, there's things you can do to lose weight, to have better grooming and fashion. Those two are huge. Makeup, optional. I don't think it's completely necessary. But really, fitness is a marathon, not a sprint. So believe me, if you keep to it and you're consistent, that's the big word, consistency over many years, I guarantee you it'll be worth it, and you can get the body of your dreams and so forth. And also keep consistent with other areas of your life, like your finances, your wealth, the goals you set to achieve to create success in life. And make sure you set the right goals so that you enjoy the process and you're passionate about it while you're working to get there. So I think it's very, very interesting, and so many people, they just kind of go through life just kind of blinded, and it's kind of all wishy-washy. I see a lot of guys who are just like, all they care about is looks, and the girl can be completely boring, completely dull, have no real future, and will cheat on you or leave you immediately as soon as she meets another guy who just emotionally satisfies her a little bit more. It's like you're grasping at straws. You're coming from a very scarcity-minded place, and you may think that you're like so awesome, or you're successful, or you're the man, or you've achieved it, but it's not really the case. You're in some level coming from an insecure, needy place where you don't think you can get a girl consistently that's attractive on the inside and outside, and so forth, and you can actually stay in a long relationship with. So again, that's my rant for the day. That's all I gotta say. Hopefully this provides some value to you, and again, spread the positivity to others. I'll see you guys later. Peace.